Well, she'd been struggling with some issues throughout our entire relationship. We met in '92, got married in '96, but in '90 she'd had a partial hysterectomy, which kind of threw her into premature menopause. And she had been taking medication uh, for menopause symptoms for some time. But over time, it just seems like it wasn't being effective, and she was being more and more symptomatic. She was just struggling with a lot of issues. Even though the medication was supposed to abate symptoms like night sweats and hot flashes and things of that nature, it didn't seem to be effective for her. And fundamentally, she was miserable. And if any of you are married, you know when your wife is miserable, you're miserable. There's no way you're going to be happy when your wife is miserable. So we just struggled for a number of years. In the around 2000, it really became more and more severe. We actually had a couple of episodes where she actually had to have treatment in the hospital, in the emergency room. Wasn't able to breathe, just total fatigue. She just collapsed, no energy. And we actually had to take her in for emergency room treatment. And at that point, I just realized that the treatment she's getting is just not working. It's just not effective. She seemed to be deteriorating more and more. And as I said, my life wasn't getting any better either. The quality of my life and the quality of our relationship was actually being affected very, very severely. And so I began doing some research into alternatives, looking at natural treatments, because I do recognize my wife is very, very sensitive to any kind of medication. It seems that her body just overreacts to any side effects or anything like that that would be normal. It just seems to really affect her quite acutely. So I began thinking, well, maybe there are other treatment avenues, perhaps some more natural cures, things of that nature. And doing some research, I found Dr. Taylor. I called, I made the appointment to see him. It was just that critical. I knew my wife needed some help, and I knew that our life needed some help. Something had to happen to kind of make things work a little better. And so we called him, went out to see him, and the rest, so they say, is history.